Okay, listener name, are you ready to dive into career journaling? Because today we are looking at LeStallion's 50 career journal prompts. And let me tell you, I took a look through them, and there's some pretty insightful stuff in there.
It's true. A good journal prompt, it's not about filling up a notebook. It's about unlocking those aspirations you have deep down and making them happen.
Exactly. And they had a bunch of great prompts just in the goal-setting section alone. They had one, what does success look like to you in 5 years? And it's not just about your job title, but your whole life.
That's such a good one because you really have to decide what's important to you, not what your parents think or what society says. You know, that self-awareness is so important when you're thinking about your career and how happy you are.
100%. So LeStallion's got these 50 prompts, and they're all grouped into 5 categories. We've got self-reflection, goal
Huh.
setting, which we just touched on, tracking progress, overcoming challenges, and future planning.
It's really great because you can kind of pick and choose what you want to focus on. So, say you're feeling stuck, you can go to the overcoming challenges section, and there's one about dealing with a coworker that's difficult to work with.
Oh man, don't get me started. We've all been there. These prompts can be super helpful for dealing with those situations. I was looking at the prompt, describe a time you felt a lack of support at work. How did you handle it?
Ah,
It really makes you think about what happened and how to deal with it if it happens again.
absolutely. And it's not just about getting it off your chest. Journaling can actually help you look back and learn from those situations, like having a conversation with yourself.
Totally. Like therapy, but way cheaper. Plus, you can do it in your PJs. And the best part is that LeStallion doesn't just ask these thought-provoking questions. They also start each section with an inspiring quote.
I did like that part too. It's like a little boost of motivation before you really get into it.
For real. In the goal-setting section, they have this Tony Robbins quote, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible.
Moot. So good. It's about making those career dreams real.
That's exactly what journaling can help you do. It's not magic or anything, but it gives you a way to actually make a plan and turn dreams into reality. You know what they say? A goal without a plan is just a wish.
You got that right. I'm feeling motivated already. Well, good, because now we are going to get into the good stuff and talk about how these prompts can really make a difference. But before we do that, listener name, I'm curious, what's your journaling style? Do you like to write things down or do you use an app?
Good question. I'm definitely a pen and paper girl. Although I have tried those journaling apps, I think the important thing is to find what works for you and gets those creative juices flowing. But let's get back to LeStallion and their prompts, because the way they structured everything is actually pretty cool. It's like they created a game for your career,
Yeah.
you know? Instead of fighting monsters, it's all about finally getting that dream job.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of dream jobs, there's this one prompt from the future planning section that I really liked. It asks, if you could design your ideal workday from the moment you wake up to the time you clock out, what would it look like?
That's a good one. It's so easy to get bogged down with work and everything that we forget to think about what we really want.
It is. And when you actually write it down, when you really think about the little details, you can start to see how you can make that dream happen.
It's like that saying, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So true. So I know some people might think, okay, this journaling stuff sounds great, but does it actually make a difference? What do you think about that?
Well, I think actions speak louder than words. Or in this case, I guess it's pages. But there's actually a lot of research that shows how journaling can be really good for you mentally. And that includes your work life, too.
It's not just some self-help trend. It's about taking the time to really think about your experiences.
Exactly. And when you do that, when you celebrate the good stuff and learn from the not so good stuff, you become more resilient, you understand yourself better, and you end up being more successful in your career.
Right. And it's important to remember that LeStallion isn't just some random website. They're known for making really good quality journals, and you can see all that effort in these prompts.
Oh, for sure. You can tell they put a lot of thought into this. That's why I think they connect with people so well.
They even have links to other journaling prompts on their website, things like mental health and mindfulness. It's amazing.
It just goes to show that our careers are just one part of who we are. And by focusing on our well-being overall, we're setting ourselves up for success at work, too.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about LeStallion and their prompts, but let's bring it back to you, listener name. If you had all 50 of these prompts right in front of you, which one would you pick first?
That's the question, isn't it? What's that one thing you're really curious about or that one goal you have right now? Because that's how you get the most out of these prompts.
Find the one that speaks to you, the one that lights a fire under you and makes you want to dive in.
Don't be afraid to let your guard down and be honest with yourself when you're writing.
Because that's where the real growth happens.
Exactly. Show up as your true self and allow yourself to really dig deep into what you want your career to be.
And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about making progress.
It's about having a safe space to try things out, make mistakes. It's all part of the process.
Yeah. So just let go of any fear or self-doubt and let those words flow.
Because you never know what you might discover about yourself along the way. We've spent a lot of time on why career journaling is important, but let's get practical for a second. What are some tips for making journaling a regular thing?
That is the question. I've definitely struggled with that myself.
Oh, we all do. Things get hectic. It's easy to forget about those goals we set for ourselves.
I think for me, it's all about finding those little breaks in the day. Maybe it's 5 minutes at night or while you're waiting for your coffee to brew in the morning.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be this whole big thing.
Right. And I've noticed that when I actually have a journal, like a physical one, it helps me take it more seriously.
Yeah, I get that. And don't be afraid to make it your own, Add some drawings or quotes, whatever makes it fun for you.
For sure. It's your journey. So your journal should reflect that. We were talking earlier about learning from our mistakes. And there's actually a prompt about that in the Overcoming Challenges section. It asks, what's one career decision you regret making, and what did you learn from it?
Oh yeah, hindsight's 20/20, right? It's easy to get stuck thinking about what we should have done differently.
You're telling me. But the point of this prompt isn't to dwell on the past. It's about learning from those experiences.
Exactly. Even our mistakes can teach us something if we let them.
And honestly, sometimes those mistakes end up leading to something even better.
That's so true. It's all part of the journey. And when we're open to those detours and unexpected paths, we often find new passions and opportunities.
Love that. And that's what I love about career journaling. It's not about following a map perfectly. It's about figuring out what you want and how to get there.
It's about trusting your gut, being open to new things, and never stop exploring.
So true. And listener name, as you start using these prompts from LeStallion, just remember, it's your journey. You make the rules.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Do what works for you and celebrate all the wins along the way.
The most important thing is to just start.
That's it. Grab your journal, find your favorite pen, and start writing.
That's all the time we have for today, but we'll be back next week with another deep dive.
Until then, listener name, make it happen.